Okay, so we've got the iPad GPS all set up now. It's just an iPad mini RAM mount, purchased from Amazon, with a 12 watt, 12 volt heating pad attached to it. And then the whole apparatus is bolted onto the glove box extension door, same place that the heated cell phone holder from Skidoo would go. In order to space it out properly, I just used a little piece of PVC pipe with some 3-inch bolts to send it through the cover to hold it on there. And then the cables are routed down in between or through the PVC pipe there. And then the whole thing's powered off of the USB intelligent charger. I guess you can't really see in there, but the USB charger from Skidoo. And then the heating pad is powered off of the same wiring harness that you buy when you get the when you buy the USB intelligent charger for the glove box extension. The way that the whole thing is set up, it's such that when the iPad is mounted in there, when the snowmobile's running, obviously it gets heated from the backside. On cold days, it'll stop the screen from freezing up, or well, really what happens is the battery stops charging because it detects it as too cold. So really you just need to keep it just warm enough so that the battery continues to charge. With Siri Shortcuts on the iPad, you can configure automations so that whenever you turn the snowmobile on, the iPad automatically unlocks itself and opens up whatever app that you choose, and then will automatically lock itself and turn the screen off whenever there's no power. So the way it's configured is as soon as you start the snowmobile, the iPad gets power, and so that boots the iPad up and it unlocks, and it opens up the GPS app, whatever app you choose. And then whenever you're done riding and you shut your snowmobile off, the Siri shortcut will lock the screen, and then shortly after, the screen will turn off so that the battery doesn't drain down when you're not using it. Pretty cool, quite easy to do, honestly, and if you're into knowing where you're at out in the woods, this is a good solution instead of a Garmin. Anyway, thanks for watching. So just a couple more things to add in regards to this. If I were to do it again, I would mount the screws here on the door up ever so slightly higher on the door so that the door can actually flop down all the way. So as it is now, it opens up, I don't know, 70% of the way that it would before. And the problem is the iPad itself hits the dash, which stops it from opening up all the way. Now, the reason why I ended up doing it this way is just because I already had the heated cell phone holder installed on this door, and so I just reused the existing holes that I had already cut in the door as opposed to buying a new door or drilling more holes in it. So there is a little bit more room so that it could be, the iPad could be a little bit higher, and you would just kind of reach over top of the iPad in order to actuate the door, but really you can still get your hand in there, and that's fine. Additionally, if any of you have any questions regarding the Siri shortcuts and automations, you can do some pretty powerful things with Siri shortcuts on the iPad. And it's also worth noting that if you're going to recreate this setup with an iPad mini or an iPad Air or any iPad for that matter, you do have to have an iPad that also has cellular capability. That's important because the Wi-Fi only iPads do not have a GPS antenna, and the way that they get their location data is via Wi-Fi. So the only time that the iPad actually knows where it is if you're connected to Wi-Fi. Obviously that's not possible when you're out in the woods. So you need to have a iPad with cellular capability. Now, you don't have to have a cellular plan, nor you don't even have to have a SIM card installed in the iPad. Just the cellular iPads have a GPS antenna built in, so they will work out in the woods, whereas the other iPads won't. With the Siri shortcuts, you can make things like screen brightness toggle. So I just set this one up quick so that I could adjust the screen brightness down and up very easily while I'm riding if it happens to be too bright. I find typically when you're using these digital screens during the daytime and you're using adaptive brightness, it doesn't really know what to do with itself, and it typically becomes too dim for you to be able to see it during the day. So it's nice to be able to manually control that. So that's the screen brightness one. So inside of Siri shortcuts, you can you make the shortcuts in here. So it's all very it flows easily. It's not very complicated. I'm not very techie with computer stuff, and I was able to figure this out. So I think most people would be able to understand how to get this set up. So that's the shortcut for the screen brightness. And then the automations are surrounding when the screen turns on and off automatically. And the way that it does that is when the iPad's powered, i.e. when the snowmobile is turned on, the screen will automatically unlock and then open up whatever app that you want. And so this is the automation. It runs immediately. It doesn't notify you when it runs, and whenever the iPad is connected to power, it opens up an app. And in this instance, I have it set to Quad NV, but obviously I would normally set it to the snowmobiling app or whatever. Any GPS really, any app on your iPad, it can automatically open. And then conversely, whenever the iPad is disconnected from power, it runs another automation called lock screen, which is this one right here. And all that does is just send you right back to the lock screen. And then after a short period of time, the iPad automatically turns the screen off when you're on the lock screen. And that's it. Anyway, like I said earlier, if anyone's looking to recreate this, it's a pretty cool little setup. And really, with today's machines, you can get pretty far out in the woods there, and it'd be nice. And it's always nice to know where you're going, and especially if you're traveling around in places that you've never been to before. It's very handy to have a good GPS. Thanks for watching.